talk about the popularity of Prime Minister in UAE. I can see stadium is half full at the time of rehearsals.
आपकी जानकारी के लिए बता दूं कि ये जो हजारों की संख्या में लोग दिख रहे हैं, ये यहाँ पे व्यूअर्स नहीं है, ये कार्यकर्ता हैं। ये अपनी मर्जी से आए हैं, फुजेरा से आए हैं, रासल खेमा से आए हैं, अजमान से आए, उमलकिन से आए, शारजा से आए, दुबई आए, अलेन से आए, सातों एमिरेट से सारे लोग बहते हुए पानी में इन अ रेनी सीजन दे हैव कम just for the volunteering.
This particular visit of Prime Minister is important because he will also be giving message of love, peace and harmony. As next day, after attending Alan Modi event, he is going to inaugurate Bab's Hindu temple, perhaps the largest stone-built temple in the Middle East. So what's the plan as far as the cultural event? Gaane bajane honge, dhol taashe bajegi.
Yeah, we are actually planning a very magical evening, and we are so looking forward to Prime Minister coming and giving him a really huge treat by this performance, because we are showing the bond between India and UAE, and our NRIs here are going to perform this as a tribute to our Prime Minister. So in this program there are many surprise elements which I cannot tell you, but you'll have to come here and you have to watch it live. Then you will feel the spirit of nationalism and the love for UAE and India.
And on 13th, by what time?
Namaste, Jai Hind and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. I'm Anand Narasimhan. The Central Board of Direct Taxes have released a new report revealing that the nation's direct tax collections have increased by 20.25% to 15.6 lakh crore, higher than the net collections for the corresponding period of last year. And according to the CBDT, this collection is 80.23% of the total revised estimates of direct taxes for the financial year 2023-24. The gross direct tax collection soared to 18.38 lakh crore as of 10th February, which is 17.3% higher than the gross collections for the corresponding period of last year. The foreign portfolio investors or FPIs continued their bullish stance in Bharat's debt markets with a net infusion of over 15,000 crore so far this month. This followed a net investment of 19,836 crore in January, making it the highest monthly inflow in more than 6 years. This was the highest inflow since June 2017 when they infused 25,685 crore. Meanwhile, Apple has achieved a new milestone in Bharat's markets. According to a report by Canalys, Apple iPhone achieved its highest shipment levels ever in the fourth quarter of 2023. The report notes that iPhone maker witnessed a 50% year-over-year growth in Q4 2023. The company successfully shipping nearly 3 million iPhones and capturing a 7.3% market share. But ladies and gentlemen, while things are looking up overall for Bharat, there remain concerns in some pockets. Bengal, Sandeshkhali, things remain on the edge. Situation is grim.
মহিলা সব দলবাজি করতে এসছো। আমি বলছি দাদা কেন আমরা দলবাজি করবো কেন?
এটা কি সত্যি যে শিবপ্রসাদ হাজরা অত্যাচার করতো?
হ্যাঁ সত্যি।
কি করতো?
এটা সত্যি কথা।
This is the place from where the violence started 3 days. The one section of local people, they became violent and they started this.
I will fight it out under the Constitution. I will fight it out the democratically elected government of the state. Certainly, we will spare no efforts to see that the guilty are punished.
हिंदू नरसंहार पर सौदा कर ममता बंदोपाध्याय अपना सत्ता का साम्राज्य चला रही, ये तो हम सब जानते हैं।
Nearly 35 days after the Enforcement Directorate team was attacked in West Bengal, Sandeshkhali, Now villagers, especially women, are up at arms against the absconding Trinamool Congress leader Sheikh Shah Jahan and his aides. On 9th of February, women of Sandeshkhali staged protests demanding the arrest of Trinamool Congress strongman Sheikh Shah Jahan and his aides. With sticks and brooms in their hands, local women taking out processions in different areas. The villagers alleging that Shah Jahan and his men have established a reign of terror, quote unquote. They allege that dignity of scheduled caste, scheduled tribe women were being repeatedly violated, and it was being done in a systematic manner of targeting these women. They accused the Trinamool of forcefully grabbing their land, claiming that swaths of tribal land have also been captured by them. They also claim that farmers are forced to work without any pay. They further were angered by the inaction of the local police. Villagers even vandalizing and torching poultry farms and other property of aides of Shah Jahan Sheikh. West Bengal Governor C.V. Ananda Bose visiting Sandeshkhali, meeting the villagers and saying this is the worst that could happen in a civilized society. The issue soon snowballed into a political fight both inside and outside the Bengal Assembly as the BJP slammed the Trinamool Congress-led government and said Mamata Banerjee is known for the genocide of Hindus. The left too accusing the state of not acting against Shah Jahan Sheikh. The Trinamool accusing the BJP, Congress and left of fueling the unrest and attempting to polarize. Let's go straight across to Union Minister for Women and Child Welfare and also Minister for Minorities, Smriti Irani ji. Namaste Smriti ji, this is Anand here. Thank you very, very much. You had a very forceful and pointed press conference earlier in the day, but the Trinamool has accused you of trying to divide people, communities and also try and push danga. What does she want? Does she want danga is what they said in their press conference, ma'am.
I think that if you hear the allegations that the female victims of Sandeshkhali leveled at the Trinamool Congress, the allegations were very pointed. Firstly, the women said, and for all Bengali women, we know the Shakha Pola is an indication of our married life, that their Shakha Pola was taken broken. Many women have articulated their angst that house to house there was a search for young married women and that only Hindu women were picked. These are words of the victims themselves and it cannot be ascribed to any political organization or any politician for that matter. The issue is that instead of reaching out to female victims, the Trinamool Congress is painting itself to be a victim unto itself because there is a national outcry now on the basis of the statements that have been proffered by the victims of Sandeshkhali. The Trinamool cannot deny that Sheikh Shah Jahan has run riot. The Trinamool cannot deny that the allegations by these female victims is that it's the Trinamool party leaders who have searched for women on the basis of their age, their physicality and their religion. Thirdly, the women in Bangla have said that Bodo Babu okhane dariye chilo, means the bureaucrat was standing by when these women were being headhunted to be raped. Then these women have gone on to allege, and these women were not brought together by any political organization. They were fed up of being continuously raped. They have said in Bangla to reporters who went to cover their outrage locally that their husbands were pointedly told in the presence of Bode Babu, God knows which bureaucrat they are referring to, or police officer, that now you shall remain husband only in name. And now you have physically no rights over the woman that has been identified by the Trinamool Congress. Now, instead of reaching out to these families, for the Trinamool Congress to utilize their time to attack me or anybody who is bringing up this issue nationally is a matter of great shame.
Chief Minister,
are they of the opinion that the women victims of Sandeshkhali do not matter because now some politician or some political organization is talking about it?
Chief Minister Mamata Bandyopadhyay has said that arrests have been made. Somebody from the left has been arrested. The Trinamool Congress aides of Sheikh Shah Jahan have been suspended for 6 years from the party. One of them, Uttam Kumar.
Is
Uttam Sarkar.
Suspension of 6 years from a political party under the law the legal direction to bring to justice perpetrators of mass rape? Is it not true that those who were CPM gundas and rapists and marauders and murderers in the CPM now are a part of the Trinamool fleet? Question now is, where is Sheikh Shahjahan? And why is Mamata Bandyopadhyay providing political patronage to such a rapist, to such a henchman?
The other question is, why is the BJP speaking up now and it's jumping only to try and profiteer electorally? That's an allegation that's also being made.
Are you saying that if the BJP speaks, these women victims of Sandeshkhali are not to get justice? Is it now my responsibility to hold my tongue so that these women get justice? Is Mamata Bandyopadhyay assuring me that as of this night, she will have Sheikh Shahjahan arrested and brought to justice? If that is her assurance, she can be assured that I will not speak about it. But Mamata Bandyopadhyay will want Sheikh Shahjahan to run riot, to have women raped. She presides over the genocide of innocents. And her only problem is that people like me will speak about it.
The allegation is not about raising the concerns of women if they have been, and the allegations that they have made, what's been perpetrated upon them. The allegation is to try and push this binary of Hindu versus Muslim. They have taken umbrage to you specifically mentioning Hindu women.
I take umbrage that women were being identified on the basis of their age, their physical makeup, and their religion. For 4 to 5 days, these women have been speaking out in public. And the Mamata Bandyopadhyay TMC government is waking up now when I do a press conference on it. Why is it that for the past 5 days when these women have been congregating and speaking, not once has Mamata Bandyopadhyay herself reached out? Why is it that when these women are congregating, impose Section 144 in Sandeshkhali? Why is it that when somebody wants to speak about this issue in the Legislative Assembly, they are being suspended? So the problem is that Smriti Irani is speaking, or the problem is that Sheikh Shahjahan is providing protection and ensuring that women are identified on the basis of their age, physicality, and their religion and being raped repeatedly. What seems to be the challenge for Mamata Bandyopadhyay? To deal with Sheikh Shahjahan or to deal with Smriti Irani?
Will you be visiting Sandeshkhali? Because some of the accounts, even I've heard them, Smriti, are quite shocking.
Again reiterating, the National Commission for Women has sent an inquiry committee. I know the politics of the TMC. They will politicize the issue instead of ensuring that the victims get justice. They are pushing the constitutional envelope so that they can play victims in the eyes of the public. The question is, why is not the Chief Minister of Bengal yet reached out to the women of Sandeshkhali? These women have come out after repeated rapes and violence against them. They have come out so that women of Sandeshkhali are no longer victimized. Mamata Bandyopadhyay can claim political martyrdom whenever she wants. The issue is, forget the politics of it. As a human being, why hasn't she reached out yet?
But that's a scenario in Bengal even after in between 48 hours what ran rampant after the assembly polls.
Can you imagine the incompetence of Mamata Bandyopadhyay? That in just one geography in her state, she can't find that one man? Who is the Sheikh Shahjahan? He instigated a mob of 1,000 people to pelt stone at investigators who went to Sandeshkhali. So much so that the ED had to give a statement saying 3 officers have been injured. And injured grievously, the intent of the mob was to kill these officers. Imagine the impunity of the Trinamool Gunda. That officers of law are being pursued so that they can be put to death. Women are being identified from home to home so that they can be raped. Are you telling me Mamata Bandyopadhyay did not know what is happening in Sandeshkhali or in a Trinamool office where these women were being taken to be raped? Are you telling me that such is her system, that nobody in her bureaucracy could wake up the chief minister? Is she that incompetent or is she complicit? That is the charge on Mamata Bandyopadhyay.
So you're making
If
a charge
not incompetent,
that Miss
then
Mamata
she's
Bandyopadhyay
complicit.
was in the know. She knew and she looked the other way.
If she is not in the know, then she is incompetent. If she is in the know and chose to do nothing, then she is a accomplice. So Mamata Bandyopadhyay needs to prove to this country whether she was an accomplice, a mute spectator, or sheerly incompetent. The onus is on her, not the BJP.
Final question is that the Trinamool says law will be delivered, justice will be done, but the BJP, left and Congress should not stir the pot.
The BJP is not partnering with Trinamool Congress. The Trinamool is partnering with the CPM and with the Congress party. That is an alliance that has been declared domestically and globally. But for the wheels of justice to turn, can the bureaucracy and the chief minister themselves be an accomplice in the entire incident? The silence of the chief minister speaks volumes over the shrieks of these women of Sandeshkhali.
Smriti ji, thank you very much for your time. Now you put the ball on the Chief Minister's court, Ms. Mamata Bandyopadhyay, and whether or not the Trinamool acts on it. And we will continue to track this story. Thank you for your time. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Namaste. Let's take this forward. Let's take this forward with Priyanka Tibrewal, spokesperson of the Bengal BJP, and Tausif Ahmad Khan, lawyer and political analyst, leans towards the Trinamool Congress. Joining us now, Priyanka Tibrewal is somebody who's still fighting those cases of the violence and the kind of injustice that was perpetrated on Qatar and people who decided not to vote for the Trinamool during the assembly elections. Those cases are still there. And she has had accounts on record of nights of hundreds of people who she only harbored and sheltered against loot and plunder. But Tausif Ahmad Khan, we won't go back to the past. Let's look at the present right now and what's happening in Sandeshkhali. Where is Sheikh Shahjahan? That's the first question. And the charge laid by Smriti Irani ji, you heard it there, is that if there is no action taken and if he can't be found in Bengal, then either the Chief Minister is incompetent or the Chief Minister is complicit.
You see, Anand, any reported crime against women has to be dealt with an iron fist. And we have seen, as you yourself apprised the Union Minister, Ms. Smriti Irani, that the West Bengal Police has already, the administration has already formed a team of 10-member police officers headed by a woman, DIG rank woman. It's a DIG rank woman who is heading this team, and they're already going to visit the area. Secondly, we all heard what union minister, the supposed union minister, and we know that she was an actor in the past of a popular TV serial, high-pitched drama TV serial actress. And she spoke exactly like an actress and dramatized the entire situation. As a union minister, I would expect that she must first get the report before commenting, before playing politics, and before bringing religion into it. You have yourself pointed out that arrests have been made, and a person who has been arrested himself is a Hindu. So why play Hindu-Muslim card over here? That is other than politics. There is nothing. There is nothing about
from
it. Secondly, she did not say anything. She was nowhere to be seen on the TV when this sexual assault case happened in Varanasi. Varanasi is a constituency of the Prime Minister of India, and the three accused are the BJP IIT cell members. A student of IIT BHU was sexually assaulted, and three accused are the IT cell members. But Smriti Irani did not speak then. So she speaks only to play politics.
Okay.
That's
Now,
all right.
will you yield?
You want to play
Will
politics?
you yield?
But
Just a few
Mamata
points.
But
Just a few points, Tausif. And as Ms. Priyanka Tibrewal comes back to respond to that. One, the three accused, so you know who the three accused are. The fact is that they were arrested within 48 hours of whatever was perpetrated, and they were brought to the book by the hand of the law. The arrests in Sandeshkhali have happened against on those people who have been accused of trying to encourage these women to come out and protest, not against the rapists. The rapists have not been arrested. The charge has been made against Sheikh Shah Jahan's aides. One of them has been suspended from the party, the other one has not been. And only suspension from the party, no arrests made. No statement has been taken or cases have been lodged by the women who have alleged that they were targeted, plundered and made to stay up as late as 2 a.m. and what was done with them, they have only accounted for in Bengali. Nothing has been done. Those protests were going on for 4 days and none of the people who are the actual perpetrators who have actually usurped their land, men, women alike whose land have been usurped, none of them have been arrested. So quite rich, and in terms of political theatrics, sir, quite rich coming from the party or supporter of a party whose chief was all around on a wheelchair during the election, and the day the results came, the next day she was walking around as if nothing has happened. So political theatrics quite rich coming from people talking about other people's past. Let's talk about the present is my humble submission. Yes, Priyanka Tibrewal.
Anand, for people like Tausif to sit in an AC room where they don't know the ground reality, that what happens? What happens when you are so poor that you can't even save your wife's self-respect, when goons come to their house and pick up the wife and take them away for the entire night until they are satisfied and then leave them back tomorrow, and where a public servant who's supposed to write an FIR when these women go to the police station tells the husband that you are husband only for namesake, because from now on she is of Sheikh Shahjahan or whosoever Sheikh it is. So what actually happens in their house, Tausif will not understand. See what kind of male chauvinism is. He pointed out at what Smriti Irani is saying, what she's not saying. She is not supposed to know what is happening here. It is your government who's supposed to know. It is your government who's supposed to question. It is your government who's supposed to safeguard the dignity of these women. But where is the government? Forget that. The silence of the chief minister on certain issues we have seen. But this kind of issue where the chief minister had once said that Bangla Niger make a chai, which means that Bangla apni beti ko chahta hai. So these women, they are not the women of Bengal. Are they Bohiragato, which they always say? No, they are very much part of Bengal. But their self-respect, their dignity, their conscience doesn't matter to Trinamool Netas. That is why they have been jolted, they have been crumpled under their legs. And who has done that? No Aam Karyakarta, it is the big Netas. Now tell me, what is Sheikh Shahjahan? He's a child Sobraj? That the police is not being able to catch the child Sobraj for so many days? Why hasn't the chief minister said anything about it? What is so important? And if you are not capable, if you are not competent, hand over the case. Hand over the case and see how the CID
But here is the
catches
charge.
your
The
Sheikh
charge
Shahjahan in
is
a day.
that charges on a BJP person trying to instigate the women. Who is getting
You
these
see,
women
when
organized?
these women-
Priyanka ji,
now,
1 minute.
Anand,
1 minute. The second
just a
thing,
second. Just
charge is
give me- allow me one
that
sentence.
this Hindu-Muslim binary, the second charge against the BJP is that the Hindu-Muslim binary works to the advantage of the BJP,
I
and
will give
this
you an
is with
answer
an
for this.
eye on the 42 Lok Sabha seats that come from Bengal. Ji.
I will give you a factual answer on this, Anand. That as you said about the post-poll violence, this is the same place, Sandeshkhali, and there were other places where women were raped. I sent all the documents. I sent all the documents to the NHRC, to the Women Commission. But the police in Bengal did not register FIRs. Similarly, like Mr. Tausif is saying, that the police investigating in the last 5 days and a very competent DIG has been given the charge. Tell me, in the 5 days when all this is happening, how many FIRs of rape have been registered?
Yeah, so
by the
let
CIG?
Tausif answer
None.
let Tausif answer that as a lawyer, that the governor can go there, BJP MLAs, MPs and ministers want to go there, they are stopped. Section 144 is imposed. 5 days mein journalists have got accounts. Not one journalist, multiple journalists have got accounts of what has happened from these women. How many FIRs have been lodged? Tausif.
You see, if BJP is not happy with the action of the police or with the DIG rank woman officer heading the police of team, the 10-member team of police, then they can approach the High Court. Even when the ED attack had
What is the
happened, they
government,
approached the
the
High Court.
complicit government doing?
Okay,
No.
Priyanka ji, let him speak and then you
these
can
are all,
counter, please.
see,
Yeah.
these are all
Just speak over
accusations.
each
These are all allegations and accusations that Mamata
God.
Banerjee is accomplice and
question,
will allow
Tawseef-
this kind of heinous crime. You see,
Tawseef ji, the question is,
first of
please
all,
tell me in 5 days how many FIRs from the women's point of view and their complaints have been registered by the special team that's been set up. When was this special team set up?
the special team, that the 10-member team that I'm talking about, headed by the woman DIG, was set up today.
Why?
And they are visiting Sandeshkhali today.
After 5
Now,
days?
No. See. These are the questions you can ask. You can ask.
I have to.
And really, the answer can be given by the administration themselves.
Yeah.
I would have been.
Is it an unfair?
See, I would have been.
Sorry to interrupt you. Please complete after I just make another submission, and please complete. Is it unfair to ask a question like this? Is it unfair to ask that when law and order is a state subject, the chief minister of the state is also the home minister of the state, and there are women alleging the kind of treatment that's been done with them? Is it unfair to ask, as a Trinamool Congress supporter, as an analyst and also as a lawyer, should it take 5 days to lodge FIR, sir, and to constitute a team? Please, go ahead.
Anand, it is absolutely not unfair for you to ask this question. Why it took 5 days to set up this special team? Now, at the same time, it is unfair not to ask question from person like Smriti Irani, who's playing politics, about where was she when the sexual assault case happened in Uttar Pradesh, in Varanasi, the constituency of Prime Minister.
What is
She was
happening now?
sleeping.
You
She
are
did
not
not
ready
come
to
out.
speak about
She did
that.
not allege that the
You are
accused
sitting in
and the
Bengal,
victim both
you
were
are
Hindus.
earning in
She
Bengal,
did
you
not
are
point
eating
out
in
that
Bengal,
Hindu was
and
being
you are
targeted
talking
in
about Uttar
IIT
Pradesh.
BHU students.
Speak about the
She did
women,
not
what
say
is happening
anything.
to the women
She
here
was
on
sleeping.
ground.
But
And
media
for that
conveniently
matter,
does not
these
ask
women,
questions
most of
from
them
her.
had said
In
what?
fact,
That
when
forcibly
she
they were
comes
made to
on
do
TV,
Trinamool. Then
when she
also,
comes on TV
their
now,
dignity,
even
their
Priyanka ji,
self-respect.
now,
let him speak,
was
then you
not
please
saved.
counter. Let him speak and then you please counter.
you see, Anand,
I'm just saying,
she speaks
I'm
as
just
the
saying,
Union Home Minister.
are you
Union
going
Minister.
to hide behind whataboutery? Is what I'm going to ask you, Tawseef. This is a whole village, SC/ST women. Sir, you had Trinamool Congress MPs march all the way up to Uttar Pradesh's place to demand justice there, saying
Doing
that...
Nautankis at airport.
No, please. Nautanki or otherwise, I'm not saying. You had them march all the way up to Uttar Pradesh to say what is happening under Yogi's Raj and there is no law and order. That is the case of one woman at that point in time and misbehavior, and that what happened with one group of people, one family. This is at least 50 to 100 families and many women of an entire area coming out and saying, in your own backyard. Now, where are those MPs today? What is the explanation for 5 days and no action yet done?
No, I think it is unfair.
So are we going to resort to whataboutery for this? That's what. With respect to the women, with respect to how these women have been treated, that's what I'm asking you, Tawseef.
There is no scope for whataboutery here, because state administration has taken action. People have been arrested, and a special team also have been set up today, headed by a woman DIG. Now, if BJP says that they don't trust the woman DIG of Bengal, they don't trust Mamata Banerjee, Chief Minister of Bengal, then I'm saying that I don't trust Smriti Irani and I don't trust any BJP woman, because I have complete faith on the woman Mukhia of Bengal. She herself, Mamata Banerjee, if you today accuse that Mamata Banerjee would allow willingly something like this, then I'll say that people are only playing politics and only making accusation for the sake of politics.
So you are saying that
Mamata
Mamata
Banerjee
Bandyopadhyay,
team, the police
with due
continues,
respect, with all the respect to her, will never allow something like this, especially women, to be treated like this in her own state. She can never be complicit. So then if she is not complicit, where is the action? That's another question that merits. Why has she not even bothered to... Where is Shah Jahan Sheikh is a question. He is the chief perpetrator in chief. Where is Shah Jahan Sheikh? Has the Bengal police not been able to find him? Where is Shah Jahan Sheikh? Another question that begets itself. And Shah Jahan Sheikh to 35 din se lapata hai, sir. 35 days. And she does not know, as Mukhia, as you yourself called her, Mukhia of the state, does not know what's happening in her own backyard. That is not a sign of competence. Would you agree, disagree? So the other charge is, if she is not complicit, is she then not competent enough? That's where the charge is.
No, you see, going by that standard, Smriti Irani is complicit because she did not speak in Varanasi case. She is definitely complicit. Yogi Aditya Nath is also complicit because he is the chief minister, and under his guidance, those BJP workers.
I have one more request. Let Priyanka Tibrewal. Let Priyanka ji respond. But I am asking you one thing, Tausif ji. Could you please in the last 5 days, sir,
reported against women.
One minute, Tausif. In the last, I cannot read Bangla. At least English media I have not been able to find, Hindi media I have not been able to find. Please tell me, correct me if I am wrong. Last 35 days, one comment from Mamata Bandyopadhyay on where is Sheikh Shahjahan and on Sheikh Shahjahan. Last 5 days, one comment on the voices of women and what they are coming out and saying, and they are saying it in Bangla. They are not even providing their version in Hindi or English. They are saying it in Bangla, and it's all over the place what the women are alleging, what has happened with them in Sandeshkhali. Is there one word from the Chief Minister about them? Please find out. If it is, please read it right now on the show. Priyanka Tibrewal, you wanted to respond to it.
Anand, allow me. Yes, please allow me. I will not go into all this whataboutery because when you have no answers, that is what you exactly do, what he's trying to do. But this is a matter of shame because a very serious issue is involved. He said he will not trust any women of BJP. For that matter, I have different opinion from what he has. I hold immense respect for each and every woman, be it of Trinamool, be it of CPM, or for that matter, any other party. So these women who were, alleging that, they used to go from house to house, searching. Tausif, औरतों की इज्जत की बात है यार, थोड़ा self respect नहीं है, तो सीख लो, ठीक है? Where these women alleged that house to house they were going, and what was the criteria? Physicality, age, and religion, and that is how they were pulled from the house. Entire night they were raped. TMC netas were enjoying. The names are there. Where is Sheikh Shahjahan? Why Mamta is quiet on that? Where is the other Shibu? Why they are useless? You say that you are so capable. Where is the capability? Women of your own Rajya. You were talking about Manipur. Now talk about Manipur. One single woman you were talking entire time on all channels. Here so many women. They are saying we were raped. They were saying we were raped. Tausif being an advocate, I challenge you. Please go there. Ensure that their FIRs are filed. Why aren't you going? You don't allow us to go. You don't allow us to go. I am ready to fight cases for all of them. I am ready to fight and ensure that FIR is registered for each and every woman who has been raped, who has been molested, who has been assaulted.
Let's take a pause here. The politics will continue, elections will come and go. We have two very capable lawyers here. What's been spoken about should not happen to any person. This is gross violation of basic rights, basic dignity and basic value for a person's life, and it's not being done with one, but multiple groups of people in an entire region. That's what's happened. Please endeavor to go there and at least ensure justice. That's the basic premise of the profession that both of you have undertaken beyond your services in public life. So that's only my humble request. Let this not go down, be brushed under the carpet, and let not the politics override the right to basic human life and right to justice for all these people. Because what they have said is not something that is a scripted one. You have to hear their account, and it's heart-wrenching. For somebody who partially understands Bengali, I had tears in my eyes. But if you were to listen to it, you would not want this to happen to anybody. That's my humble request. Thank you very, very much. Have to move on for the moment. We'll continue to track this story, ladies and gentlemen. But let's shift focus on to another very big political development. They all came together to give the BJP a spirited fight. There are still leaders among them who believe they have a chance in at least 220, 250 seats, if not more. But with months to go, nothing seems to be falling in line for the INDI alliance or the entire India bloc. While on the one hand, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said 370 seats for the BJP and 400 par for the NDA alliance, the INDI alliance or the India bloc is still struggling to keep its flock together. Just months ahead of this battle, there is no decision on seat sharing yet, forcing a lot of the allies to go solo in several states. Some of them even saying we are in the alliance but not allied with you. As Rahul Gandhi's Nyaya Yatra progressed, the INDI alliance seemed to be breaking apart. Why? On the very first day, as Rahul Gandhi started the yatra from Manipur, attention was grabbed by another young leader, Milind Deora, all the way across in Maharashtra, leaving the Congress to join a rival. The talk behind the scenes is that his Lok Sabha seat, which he was keen to contest, was going to go to somebody from UBT or Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray's team. So he jumped ship and he's joined Ajit Pawar's, Eknath Shinde team. So he is going to be contesting from that very place against the very candidate for whom he was denied a seat. On 24 January, Rahul Gandhi hoped to corner the government in Assam. Mamata Banerjee pulled the rug under the alliance in West Bengal, saying, "We are fighting solo, no need for left, no need for Congress. I cannot ally with a party against whom I fought for 34 years. The same day, the AAP snubbed the Congress in Punjab, saying we are going to fight on this seat alone and there is going to be no alliance with Congress. And soon after, the mayoral elections further drove the wedge. On 28 January, as the yatra was entering Bihar, Nitish Kumar, the Balturam, that's what he's being termed, dumped the alliance and jumped ship to the NDA, and today passed the floor test and is now Chief Minister along with the HAM, the LJP and the BJP. In February, as Rahul's Nyaya Yatra was entering Uttar Pradesh, Centre announced Bharat Ratna for Chaudhary Charan Singh, and RLD Chief Jayant Chaudhary quick to change sides. He's made the announcement that I am making a Ghar Wapsi back into the NDA. Arvind Kejriwal on February 11 drawing the line in Delhi as well after Punjab. Kejriwal hinting they will not concede any seats to the Congress in the capital either. And today on 12th February, another Congress strongman, Ashok Chavan, quitting the Congress, and if reports are to be believed, he may join the NDA, any of the parties, most likely BJP, they say, maybe one of the other allies. Milind Deora, Baba Siddique joining NCP, Ajit Pawar, Milind Deora, Eknath Shinde, Ashok Chavan, along with them, behind him, another 9 to 10 MLAs are waiting to jump ship. That's the claim made. And Devendra Fadnavis says it's not just the Congress in Maharashtra. Other parties of the Maha Vikas Aghadi should also watch out because they are ready to jump ship. Shazia Almi, national spokesperson of the BJP. Shyam Prasad Meka, leader of the Congress party, with us. Namaste, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Shazia Almi ji. So now what is the Adarsh here? Can you hear me, Shazia ji?
I think I can hear you.
I hope you understand the reference.
To everybody. Yes, other scam are you talking about? So, I would like to first say that I think it's very clear as to what is happening. On the one hand, there is a team of people who are sure that it will be 400 par. On the other, there is another team, a ragtag coalition of people who are not sure about also 40 par. Whatever it is R ya par. And I think we are very clear of where we are. And as for Adarsh and all your whatever you're insinuating, let me tell you that it is the Bharatiya Janata Party that people believe in. That is maximum credibility. I do not believe at all that anybody who joins the party, who has cases against them, should enjoy any kind of immunity only because they are in BJP. Nothing should be slowed down for them when it comes to cases. But it also means that opposition also cannot have immunity if they have serious charges of corruption. It works both ways. I do believe that ED and CBI are independent agencies and do their bit. And the fact of the matter is that many of the cases which have been there for the longest period, even before NDA came to power. So it's not that the cases have just begun. As you just stated about a particular case of which I know something about.
Shyam Prasad Meka ji, every time we speak to each other, the India alliance is a little depleted. Many would think that the way you are losing leaders, if people could shed weight or get fitter.
No, the simple thing is, see, we formed the India alliance and are also, because Congress is not like earlier. It's not arrogant. Congress is realistic. It is making all its effort and trying to form alliance by bringing every like-minded party. The objective of India alliance is to set the agenda for the election, to agree on that. The issues on which this election need to be fought. Whereas the shore that is being created by BJP is taking away the real issues on which the election should be fought. And that's the intent of India. Now, coming to the implosions, that so-called implosions of within Congress you have mentioned. See, we are very clear. We are very clear that those who doesn't have the ideological commitment to fight the current regime, oh yes, you can go. Okay, that's the strongest line that we have taken. For a second, let me wear my enlist hat. Look at it from outside. The way you will see the Indian politics playing out right now is the Samajwadi and Samajwadi forces and Sampradayak forces. The line is being drawn very sharply now, and the divide is becoming very, very clear. So I think this is going to be a clash between the Samajwadi ideology and the Sampradayak ideology.
Okay, but Shyam Prasad Mikhaji,
more or less that is what is
frankly, with due respect to you, and you are a very good spokesperson or a commentator, but what you said as an analyst sounded more political, and what you said as a politician wearing a Congress hat sounded more analytical. Because, sir, if you look at the numbers, in the last 10 years, this government has done more socialism and more welfare than what you are calling them, what you are blaming them to be. And those you called socialist, in their terms, the amount of communal strife that was witnessed across the country, and the amount of wedging, social wedge that was driven, was far greater than what we have seen in the last 10 years. So there is one aspect of perception and the other aspect of what the actual numbers actually speak. Welfare is at the highest under this government right now in the last 20 years, if you were to look at it in terms of wealth. So that is more socialist and more Samajwad. So that's the argument. As far as Congress party is concerned, from Hemanta Biswa Sarma downward, you look at the entire next generation of Congress leaders is now eroded. That's what's happened. And they have all decided somewhere to align with the BJP or somewhere of the BJP's allies. Shazia Almi, what does that mean? Does that mean that the BJP is the Congress of today?
What I really think, and I would like to differ with
Shyam Prasad Mikha.
He calls, this is not a fight between Sampradayak and Samajwadi. Samajwad has become actually Samantwad, and it has become the most Sampradayak, most communal. And this is the impression that people have. This is what they believe about the so-called India or India alliance. They actually believe that they're there not just to save themselves from corruption and to get together, but to defeat Modi, but also to perpetuate corruption. They also stand for dynastic succession. They also don't have a road map for India. They don't care for what could be needed by a large chunks of Indians. And they do not want, they are totally wrapped up in identity politics. There is too much of a difference, you see, which is why it's very easy to fall back and say, oh, communal politics, oh, Hindu-Muslim. That has been done to death. That draws a yawn. There's an aspirational class in everybody. All communities, all regions and all religions and all castes. And I think the belief is that this party, this man Modi ji, he is there for us. And you are right. If you look at the figures, if you see the socio-economic indices and across the spectrum, you will find that social welfarism has been really the highest. In that sense, BJP has been far more socialistic than all those parties who call themselves socialists actually do nothing. So besides, plugging all the loopholes, ensuring that the real beneficiaries get benefited, identifying the poor, and to actual implementation, to a lot of schemes which were there, but actually giving that good governance, perfect administration, no discrimination, ensuring that every level from block development office to Tehsildar, to Patwari, to CM, and below that the DM, there is no discrimination happening. And I think that is what matters. These old semantics and, naras and slogan of yesteryears, Hindu, Muslim and majoritarianism and fascism and Dalit Muslim identity and meme and bheem. People are bored and tired and sickened because just see the track record. You just see across the spectrum. It is just tiring, you know.
Shyam Prasad ji, please respond.
I would be foolish if I think Modi government did not achieve anything, right? See, what did we give them? The people of India have given 10 years power to the BJP and kept the 3 trillion economy in their hands and all the political support that the ruling government needed. With all this, what did you achieve? That's the question in front of the people. Instead of saying, oh, they didn't do anything, then BJP coming back and saying, see, we gave gas cylinder, see, we launched Jal Senal. Yeah, of course, this debate will happen. But it's good that the debate should happen on those issues. What we are looking at is large sections of people, like look at farmers not happy. You have youth not happy because of unemployment, right? So different sections of people who are not happy. And we have the issues like the highest unemployment is happening over there. There are job losses. Incomes are not being generated. While what we are getting to hear in the shore is, hey, India became Vishwaguru. Dunya mein hamara tanka baj raha hai. So the choice that we are putting in front of the people is it your lived experience or their claimed achievements? Their claimed achievements, hollow slogans, misspelled acronyms versus did your kids get the jobs? Did your income rose in the last few years? These are your lived experiences. That's the choice we are putting in front of the people.
So claimed achievements versus lived experience.
Sir, Swanidhi Yojana. Sir, Swanidhi Yojana, just read. It is actually for those people on the streets who are vendors and hawkers. And do you know the average income has gone up by 23,000 rupees, which is a big number for them. Not just that, 25 crore people have been alleviated out of poverty. We're talking multi-dimensional poverty. If you look the PM's Ayushman Yojana and if you look at the Awas Yojana, it is phenomenal. Something basic like Jan Dhan accounts. I mean, we're looking at 50 crores. If you look at toilets, and just Izzat Ghar as BJP calls it, it has made a huge difference. Forget about the numbers. Numbers is astronomically high, which is more than 12 crores. But just see what it does to the morale, of a force of womankind. Just see how far it goes. And I think those are the things that I'm talking about. And you're talking about just today, sir. And let me just say, 8 of our ex-Navy veterans were released and they came home safe and sound. All thanks. It's a big diplomatic breakthrough. Just absolutely brilliant.
I'm happy about
it. Matters. It is just not words. It is huge. So please, I've been a journalist. I've been an activist. I'm here. Of course, I speak about the party. But I'm telling you, the kind of work that has happened across the spectrum. And I heard Modi ji the other day, and I know there were a lot of things that were said by a lot of people. You know what? Something that struck me, and he talked also about transgender members, and he says, our transgender members of the society needed dignity. They need to have legal rights. Just imagine to the detail, to the last detail, that as they said, Antodaya, the last person, the last woman in the queue is being talked about. I mean, and I think it is amazing because these questions have been raised. We thought it was impossible. We had some of the greatest minds there, Manmohan Singh, Chidambaram, and Monte Ahluwalia. See what happened with financial inclusion. I mean, that's huge, and it matters. People could not dream that they would ever get into a bank. They were outside of the purview of the whole economy, but they're in there, right? Aren't they? You see that? And you look at the self-confidence, resilience, that we can do it. I think a lot has happened. I can't even quantify.
But a lot needs to also happen.
It is beyond quantification.
On record, I must say that in the interim budget of 2014, and this is on record, where the then finance ministers quoted experts saying that in the next 3 decades, we could become the third largest economy. In the next 3 decades, we could become. Here, we have somebody who's saying in 10 years from then, that in the next term itself will become the third largest economy. So there is some change. But more importantly, Shyam Prasad Mekaji, between the claimed achievements and the lived experiences, if there is a gap, then more people should be joining the Congress party or any of the members of the INDI alliance and not decamping or jumping ship.
Yeah, exactly.
So that means something is wrong.
Yeah, that means more people need to join our ranks.
But they will not join unless they see a vision and an agenda. If the agenda is Modi hatao, then why would somebody join you, Shyam Prasad ji? Somebody has to come to you and say, "आपका plan क्या है? What's your plan?" Oh, मेरे को इसको हटाना है. नहीं, उसके बाद क्या? वो तब देखेंगे. एक बार हट तो जाए. Why will I give you my vote for that?
No. That will happen as long as Congress is successfully brings our message that I am saying. So take this message effectively to the people, and don't worry about these feudal capitalist lords who have a stranglehold on the party. Don't worry about them. Let them go wherever they want. And
so former
chief
minister for you, sir, is a feudal capitalist lord. A former chief minister of Maharashtra is a feudal capitalist lord for you.
I risk my neck out and say all the political parties have the same thing.
Is the current chief minister of Assam a former Congress person, a feudal capitalist lord for you? Is the current civil aviation minister of Bharat, is he a former Congress person?
Is
he a feudal
not?
capitalist lord for you?
A former RPN Singh is, Hemanta Biswa is.
So are they all feudal
are
capitalist lords for you? Mr. Anil Antony, is he a feudal capitalist lord for you? Sir, Mr. C.R. Keshavan, grandson of C.R. Rajgopal. Sir, is he a feudal capitalist lord for you? Sir, these are all supposed to be the next generation of Congress leaders they could have been, who would have taken the Congress party forward, and they have all decided there is no future there and there is future elsewhere. That requires a certain level of introspection, because these are sharp minds who have decided to make this decision. I have to wind up. I'm way over time. To the lady and the gentleman engaging conversation, thank you so much. Namaste. We're going to take a very short break. When we come back, early morning, great tidings. The 8 Navy veterans from death to life in Bharat. Quite a turn. We'll get you the details. Stay with us.
Reaction coming in from the government of India, thanking maybe Qatar for releasing all these Navy personnel.
Well, the government of India has released a very small press statement that says that 7 out of 8 have already arrived in Delhi, and they have said that we appreciate the decision by the Emir of State of the Qatar to enable the release and homecoming of these nations. So clearly, kind of thanking State of Qatar for releasing all these Indian nations who were in the jail of Qatar, and it's kind of big achievement, because we know that these, especially these Muslim countries, they need some very high-level negotiations to have such sentences, such life sentences, be reduced or them being released. So it needed highest level intervention, and most likely Prime Minister Modi himself was involved in this entire negotiations as to how these Navy veterans will be possibly released and safely brought back home. We have already seen in the last few years, many times Indian nationals, whoever have been trapped in wherever, in whichever part of the world, Indian government has tried to bring them home safely, be it the evacuation in Yemen or in Russia-Ukraine war, or we have seen happening in Sudan also, where this conflict has risen. So Indian government has always taken care of all these people who have been struck in whichever part of the world, and this is another example where these 8 Navy veterans who were a part of some some legal hassle, and they were awarded life sentences also, they have now been released. All of them, 8 of them have been released. 7 of them have already arrived in Delhi.
And when can we tentatively expect the 8th one to come back home also, Abhishek?
Well, there has not been any possible deadline, but we do understand that as soon as those documentation process will be over, the 8th person will also be here in Delhi.
Definitely, Abhishek. Thank you so much for bringing us all those crucial about that good news as far as the relationship between India and Qatar is concerned. Well, it's about a huge diplomatic victory for India. The 8 former Indian Navy personnel detained in Qatar have been released by Qatar court. We are learning that 7 out of them have returned home already. The government of India has welcomed the release of these Navy veterans. 7 out of the 8, ladies and gentlemen, have returned to India and have been welcomed by our government as well. Take a look at some of the reactions that we have received from ground.
खुशी हो रही है कि वापस इंडिया पहुंच गए हम सेफ एंड साउंड और डेफिनेटली ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर श्री मोदी को धन्यवाद करना चाहेंगे कि उनके पर्सनल इंटरवेंशन से ये पॉसिबल हुआ।
ये वाले दिन का हम बहुत दिनों से वेट कर रहे थे और प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी और उनका पर्सनल इंटरवेंशन, उनका इंटरेक्शन, और एक और मौका लेना चाहता हूं कि थैंक करूंगा एमीर को कतर के, जिनके उनके इंटरेक्शन के कारण आज हम यहां खड़े हैं।
Back on with a big diplomatic win for Bharat, Qatar has released the 8 Indian Navy veterans who were sentenced to death on charges of espionage. 7 of the 8 former Indian Navy personnel have now returned to Bharat. The release of all of them has been secured. They've been freed of charges of espionage, and it marks a significant diplomatic breakthrough between Bharat and Qatar. The ex-Navy veterans have also thanked Prime Minister Narendra Modi and said that their return was made possible only due to his personal intervention. Remember, Prime Minister Narendra Modi met the Emir of Qatar on the sidelines of the COP28 in Dubai, and thereafter the wheels were set in motion. Listen into what they had to say.
वाकई बहुत खुशी हो रही है कि वापस इंडिया पहुंच गए हम सेफ एंड साउंड और डेफिनेटली ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर श्री मोदी को धन्यवाद करना चाहेंगे कि उनके पर्सनल इंटरवेंशन से ये पॉसिबल हुआ, और गवर्नमेंट ऑफ कतार के हिज एक्सेलेंसी द अमीर को कि उन्होंने ये होने दिया।
ये कहना चाहेंगे कि ये वाले दिन का हम बहुत दिनों से वेट कर रहे थे और प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी और उनका पर्सनल इंटरवेंशन, उनका इंटरेक्शन, और एक और मौका लेना चाहता हूं कि थैंक करूंगा एमीर को कतर के, जिनके उनके इंटरेक्शन के कारण आज हम यहां खड़े हैं, जिस दिन का हमें बहुत बेसब्री से इंतजार था।
It's only possible due to the intervention of our Prime Minister and his personal interaction and involvement with the Emir of Qatar. We are thankful so much for the government of India.
We have waited almost 18 months to be back in India. We are extremely grateful to the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji. It certainly wouldn't have been possible without his personal intervention and that equation with the Emir of Qatar. I think we are grateful to the government of India, from the bottom of our heart, for every effort that has been made, and this day wouldn't have been possible without it.
The meeting in Dubai between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Tamim bin Hamad, the Emir of Qatar, on 1st of December is said to have set the ball rolling for the release of the 8 Indian Navy veterans by Qatar on Monday. The Prime Minister was deeply concerned about the developments post the death penalty, and it's on his instruction special movement started from all corners. NSA Ajit Doval held 7 to 8 meetings in Qatar. During his meeting, accepted Prime Minister Modi's request, and the best judicial relief was attempted, and death was commuted to a life imprisonment. Later, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Emir of Qatar spoke about the issue during the COP28 meet in December in Dubai. It was on the sidelines of this meet that this conversation happened. The government officials then made efforts as part of the presidential pardon, and that's how their release was secured. Phenomenal story, big diplomatic win, and kudos to both leaders for showing a large heart. 7 of those veterans are back home. The 8th one should also be back in Bharat soon. With that, we call it a wrap on this edition of The Right Stand.
Co-presented almost 18 months to be back in India. We are extremely grateful to the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji. It certainly wouldn't have been possible without his personal intervention and that equation with the Emir of Qatar. I think we are grateful to the government of India, from the bottom of our heart, for every effort that has been made, and this day wouldn't have been possible without it.
CNN News 18's Abhishek Jha is joining us live on the broadcast, who has been tracking this story very, very closely. Abhishek, it's a very good step that has been taken. People are actually congratulating Prime Minister Modi and his diplomatic relationship with Qatar as well. But my question to you is about that 8th person, because we are learning that only 7 out of 8 have returned home. What about the 8th one?
It's some diplomatic or documentation work that is pending, and that is why, because the one of the person has not returned. But the good news and the huge diplomatic achievement for India's diplomats from both in Delhi and Qatar is that these 8 Navy veterans who have been languishing in jail of Qatar for about 18 months and who were sentenced already, now they have been released, and all of them will be in Delhi very soon. 7 of them have already arrived, and they have we just heard them thanking Indian government and the diplomatic outreach to the Qatar summit. We have all seen how during the COP summit, Prime Minister Modi had a small interaction with the Emir of Qatar as well. And the kind of relationship India has had with Qatar that has clearly helped achieve this major, achievement, where 8 Indian Navy veterans were under the Qatar in Qatar's jail, and there were some serious charges against them also that had resulted in some of them with a harsher punishment. But now we know that all of them have arrived, all of them have been released, and 7 of them have already arrived in Delhi.
Definitely, Abhishek, and it's a big example of the relationship that India and Amirs of Qatar actually share at the moment. Have you received any, reaction coming in from the government of India thanking maybe Qatar for releasing all these Navy personnel?
Well, the government of India has released a very small press statement that says that 7 out of 8 have already arrived in Delhi, and they have said that we appreciate the decision by the Emir of State of the Qatar to enable the release and homecoming of these nations. So clearly, kind of thanking the State of Qatar for releasing all these Indian nations who were in the jail of Qatar, and it's this kind of big achievement because we know that especially these Muslim countries, they need some very high-level negotiations to have such.
Hello and welcome to Brass Tacks. I'm Zaka Jacob. Yet another Congress veteran has put in his papers. This time it's former Maharashtra Chief Minister Ashok Chavan. While he has not revealed what his immediate next plans are, it is being speculated that he is most likely going to be joining the BJP. Now, just as Rahul Gandhi's Nyaya Yatra has been going on for the last few weeks, it started earlier this year. Milind Deora, yet another Maharashtra Congress veteran, a close aide and friend of Rahul Gandhi, he quit. Then Baba Siddiqui, who is again a very popular Mumbai face, he quit as well. And it's not just restricted to the Congress in Maharashtra. Mamata Banerjee has said that she's going to fight on her own in Bengal. And yesterday, Kejriwal has also said that the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress will not be sharing seats in Punjab and in Delhi. But that's not all. Questions also need to be asked of the BJP. Ashok Chavan was a man against whom they railed and ranted and brought corruption charges in the infamous Adarsh scam, the Adarsh Housing Society scam. So much so, back then, Ashok Chavan had to quit as Chief Minister. He had to resign from his post. Is his corruption record, or alleged corruption record, I must say, because he's not been convicted by a court of law yet, but something that the BJP made such a brouhaha over some years ago, is that now kosher? Is that now clean? Or is this putting paid to the opposition's oft-repeated charge that the BJP is some kind of a washing machine where those who had corruption allegations against them, it gets washed off when they join the BJP? We'll get to all that and more, but first, the story of how yet another Congress heavyweight is now switching sides before the 2024 election.